All right. Test.
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 This will kind of lead into our Ask an Idiot question. So the Chris Rock special aired this past weekend. So Saturday evening, it was the first live stream event that Netflix did. And it certainly might lead into others. They're already talking about other potential ideas. They streamed it live and then almost immediately.
Convincing Idiots podcast?
Maybe.
Oh,
you never know.
I hope so.
I think we were the first to do that. We actually kind of, I think maybe we kind of laid the groundwork for this to happen.
Chris Rock stole it from us. I'm going to slap that motherfucker.
I'm sure they examined our Idiots Live format and so forth, and they said, let's not
Most
do
people
this.
did.
Yeah, let's not do this. Let's do something better, but we get the live idea. But, a lot of people were waiting to hear what he had to say about Will Smith and he, of course, as you would expect, he kind of teased it a little bit here and there throughout the special. It's only an hour long or so. Very quick watch. And the last 10, 15 minutes.
Are we into Ask an Idiot?
Yes, we're getting into Ask an Idiot. Okay. So he really laid into Will Smith. It was really direct, and he was notably angry, as you might expect. He brought up some personal things. It's public knowledge, so he wasn't saying anything that wasn't kind of known already, but he definitely laid some things out there. He talked about why he made the joke, that basically Jada Pinkett Smith had made fun of him about hosting the Oscars previously because Will Smith was up for a nomination, didn't win for concussion. And so Chris Rock thought, well, you made fun of me in public like that, so it's kind of my turn. So that was sort of his logic, he explained. But it was a lot of stuff. He only basically came up on me because I'm, not only, but he's a bigger man. He came up to me, and would he have done that if it was other people? And it was
what if The Rock was the host? What if not Chris Rock, but The Rock was the host?
It was,
it was all kinds of fuck up out of the seat.
No.
Yeah. He said something like, as well, the only reason he watched Emancipation, he watches that a lot strictly to see Will Smith get whooped.
Yeah, I heard that line. Yeah.
So. Anyway, so now a lot of people, all right, are saying, well, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to read the tweet that brought this kind of to my thought process. And I'll give a shout out to Rosenberg Radio. He does radio on in New York. He has a podcast called Cheap Heat, and he wrote. At Rosenberg Radio, Chris Rock took a year of being the good guy who took the high ground and then just decided to completely vengeful and angry. I'm not morally judging him, do you? But in the long run, tonight will not give him the win he was looking for. And then later on, he proceeded to, kind of ask the question, with this special, did Chris Rock turn into the bully? Was it kind of, I throw a rock at you, so you shot my grandma. You know what I mean? Was it?
Right.
So there's the question. Did this make Chris Rock the bully?
Yeah, so even if you didn't see the special yet, you just get an idea that he really...
we gave him a rundown.
We laid it out there, and, so... Yeah. Nick, do you have any initial thoughts?
Without having seen or heard exactly, in specifics what was said or how far in he went on it, I definitely feel like he is entitled to. He's a comedian, so he's going to use things like this. That's the tools that he's got in the box there. So if he chooses to, this happened to him. Let's not get off the
correct.
Yes, did he make a remark that I don't know. I'm not entirely sure if he knew the entire situation, but like you said, she kind of made a dig at him. He was making one back, at her in his mind. This happened to him. This unexpectedly happened to him, and he was assaulted on live television. I mean, that's exactly what happened.
And embarrassed.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, comedian or not, you have an ego.
And sure, I understand. Like, there is something to be said for taking the high ground and something like that. And I think he really did for, this last year, as stated. But I feel like that's, this is something that you didn't ask for that happened to you. I mean, you, without going super, super personal and super cruel and over the line, like I said, I mean, I feel like you definitely have the right to talk about it. Like, everyone fucking saw it, and everyone knows that you're going to say something about it. You have the floor. You have the freedom to use that. You didn't ask for this to happen in the first place. It would have been
right.
There would have been nothing had it not started with the incident at the Oscars with the slap. So I think he's well within his right, in theory, to at least say some stuff and take digs at Will Smith. That's totally fine.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, yeah, you can sit there and be like, oh, is he the bully now? No, he's not. Because the other guy physically assaulted him. He's just saying things. And yes, words hurt, and yes, words have weight. But there is a difference between a physical assault and saying some not nice things or untoward things towards somebody. And he did not instigate this. So, I mean, I definitely, like I said, it's hard to say. I might eat some of those words depending. I don't know what all was said or how cruel it was. But just looking at it from what I understand of the situation, I feel like, yeah, it's okay that you did this thing. Now, I mean, yeah, Chris Rock, it's not like he's not allowed to talk about it. So, I mean, yeah, he should be able to say what he wants to about it.
There was one stretch where he called Will Smith a bitch. Mm-hmm. But, like, he went, like, da-da-da-da, because you're a bitch. Da-da-da-da, because you're a bitch. Da-da. Like, it was a long stretch, just, you're a bitch, you're a bitch, you're a bitch. They think you're a bitch. He thinks you're a bitch. You're a bitch. You know what I mean? So you are completely right, Nick. I agree with you 100%. But like Rosenberg said in this tweet, at a certain point, he came off a little more
bitter,
vengeful and angry than funny. And as a comedian, I would like to have... at a certain point, you step back and go, you're getting a little uncomfortable because you're losing the joke. You're losing the funny aspect of it.
Also depends how long this kind of thing lasts, because, like, if it's an hour-long special and 20 minutes of it are about the slap...
That is true.
That doesn't look...
10 minutes anyway.
Good on you. You know what I mean?
It was a good
stretch. Given a little segment, but, like, if it's, like, a quarter of the show or something, you'd be like, okay, man, like... You got anything else to talk about? Anything else to make fun of? I mean,
But luckily, Chris Rock, I mean, he did do it funny. And I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm 100% in your camp, Nick. But I'm playing devil's advocate here, saying that, it could be construed as a little too bitter, a little too just going through for the jugular, just for the sake of the jugular without the joke. Now, if he would have come out in an interview and just, raked him across the coals, did the same thing, that's actually another thing. That's you get to say that. You get to, because you're angry and you're bitter.
Right.
But on stage, to me, I want that anger to be mixed with your comedy.
Sure.
I don't want you to start veering off just seeming
I'm not here to be your therapist and hear you be angry. I'm here to laugh and, like, make it, it part of the show, and
I think he did that, but there was a line that was getting close to it, in my opinion.
Okay,
where it was just getting to be angry rather than angry and funny. Mm-hmm. So, Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. I mean, I think probably part of this was I would guess he probably wanted to say something a long time ago, but I'm sure.
Just wait for it. Hold it.
He had talks with his people and Netflix and everything else to say, if you can wait, because he already had a 2 episode or 2 special deal with Netflix. I read it was like $40 million or something like that to do it 2. So he was going to do another special anyway. I don't know if it was live yet. I'm sure all this changed. All this dynamic, I'm sure, changed the fact that Netflix. You know what would be interesting here is hold your opinions. We'll do this thing live.
We've been talking about doing a live thing. This seems like the perfect
This
time.
is a golden egg that fell into their lap. Then knowing that this situation, this big cultural situation that blew up on national television between these two massive stars, and you've got one of these guys signed to, like you said, a couple special deal. You could. What more can you ask for?
Absolutely. I mean, I tuned in. If I was home, I would have watched it live. Mm-hmm. But when I watched it the very next day on streaming, so because I was interested to hear what he had to say about all of that. So I'm sure a lot of people tuned in. Oh, yeah. That might have just been fringe Chris Rock fans, but because they wanted to hear what he had to say. So he had a lot of clear pent up anger and frustration.
A lot of Super Bowl fans.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't watch throughout the season, but when the Super Bowl comes, let's jump on that.
That's right. So, yeah, it was very real and raw and all that, but I'm with you in the sense of it was funny for a minute, but that it's like it got a little raw and uncomfortable for a little bit there. Some of that was maybe a little unnecessary if you would have kept it to funny and joking, making fun. It would have, to me, it would have came across a little bit better, but I don't know. But at the end of the day, I agree with you guys. And does he have a right to say something? Yeah. Because like you say, if from now until the end of time, if you Google the slap, it's going to be that picture of Will Smith slapping you across the face. If you're Chris Rock, that's it. You are tied to that phrase.
You've been posterized forever on the internet from being
forever
struck by Will Smith.
Exactly. No one certainly thought he should fight him or anything like, whatever. So he definitely.
That time that Will Smith left fresh prints on Chris Rock's face.
Yeah.
You're funny and pretty.
Oh.
Here, I'll look it up here.
What slap?
Yeah, the slap. I'm going to Google the slap.
Oh, sure. And it's going to be that picture.
No, it's a picture of. Oh, it's a picture of Nick slapping my ass. Oh, I was looking through I Google searched my photos. Roll. Yeah, damn it, my camera roll, and I thought I was on Google.
Gotta be careful.
You're probably right. If you ever see Nick slap an ass, you better be careful.
All right, so Ashley, I think we all agree that he definitely has a right to say something, but could have maybe toned it down slightly. Had a better, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I would like to add just to put okay. I don't think Will Smith's a bad guy. Will Smith did a bad thing. He made a bad judgment call at a place and time. Who knows what he's going through? Yada yada yada. Not making excuses. Whatever. Will Smith struck Chris Rock on national television, embarrassed him, all that stuff. Chris Rock sat in it for a year, then he completely unleashes on Will Smith. Mm-hmm. Fair. We're done now. Both of these guys should be adults, and this is not to be a thing between them forever. I think they can both move on from this. I don't know. I'm not involved in this situation, but from the outside looking in, if I were Will Smith, I'd be like, okay, fuck you. That hurts. Ouch. All right, whatever. Now we're done. Like, there's no need to, you know what I mean? I don't need to get mad at this. I don't need to meet your anger and then I'll escalate. I hit you. You didn't ask for that. You didn't deserve that. You came back at me with all this shit. Might have fell over the line to me. We're done now. That would be the adult thing to do for everybody. We all move on. Chris Rock doesn't make any more jokes about it it's just done.
WrestleMania is like a month away.
Yeah.
You know how much money they could make doing a match at WrestleMania? Come on. Yeah. Book it. Let's do it.
That would actually that I would love to see that because it's wrestling, so it's staged. And to get them both on board, like, hey man, this is our shake and make up. Let's have some fun with this. Let's both pad some pockets here. Let's move on and whatever. Yep. See? That would be awesome.
Book it.
Yep.
I like it.
Let's see it. All right, any other thoughts on this Ask an Idiot question of the week, guys?
I think we solved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've basically laid out the rest of Chris Rock and Will Smith's career for them.
Right.
So what more do we need to say?
I agree with you. Move on. Will
You're
Smith, you've already commented that he didn't watch it. He was disappointed in what he said, and we hope we could just let it go or something like that. So they're kind of setting it up. I think where it's just like, all right, let's
move on.
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're gonna wanna.
Ham gravy.